Welcome back. Cabinet directed the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology to develop the National Digital Strategy and its Implementation Action Plan. The objective of this initiative is to effectively utilize digital technologies to stimulate economic development, improve the quality of public services, and promote inclusivity in the digital age. To share more details on this initiative is the Deputy Director for Institutional Policy Regulation and Monitoring in the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, Dr. Elizabeth Kamu-Tuedu. Doctor, good evening and thank you so much for joining us here on the show.
Yes, good evening and thank you for having me on the show.
Doctor, talk to us about how the National Digital Strategy aligns with broader government priorities and policies in Namibia.
Yes, the strategy that is still in a drafting format and that we just called the stakeholders recently to validate the draft thereof is aligned with the Namibian initiative and its aspiration for the fourth industrial revolution. And it's also complement various ICT initiatives such as the provision of broadband and provision of technologies in terms of ICT policy.
Can you elaborate, Dr. Kamu-Tuedu, on the specific digital technologies that will be utilized to stimulate economic development and improve public services?
I can't say that in specific because we have a lot of emerging digital technologies of recent. You might have been aware of the artificial intelligence, you might be aware of robotics, you might be aware of 3D printing, you might have been aware of robotics and many others. So those are the new emerging technologies that we want Namibia to position itself to leverage on those benefits and transform the country digitally and moving forward, use those platforms and solutions to transform the society for socio-economic development, as well as we also create a conducive digital economy.
Speak to us then, Doctor, about the challenges or obstacles that the Ministry foresees in the implementation of the National Digital Strategy.
I think what came out today after the workshop is clearly clear that this strategy needs to be based and position itself on key critical factors, success factors to say. First, what came out clearly is funding mechanisms. As you know, the budget of the ministry is merely maybe to do our operations. But we also, it became clear that we need an extra funding as a ministry to complement and supplement the private service providers so that they roll out the infrastructures, which was one of the key pillars also, pillar number one, driving the digital transformation. Secondly, also, it was clear that we need stakeholders' collaboration. This strategy has an action implementation plan that needs that all the stakeholders or the actors that are listed to execute certain actions need to own those actions, need to prioritize, and need to execute, and they need to allocate resources to those actions, how they will execute those actions. The action implementation plan is a 5-year plan. So that is a two. And third, we also realize that, yes, well enough, I have mentioned about your AI, your robotics, your emerging technologies. What about the skills? Do we have people that have the skills to navigate and use those platforms? And another area is also, are we able to remain connected 24/7 because you need internet, you need connectivities. And in order for you to connect, there are prerequisites of infrastructures, secondly data, and thirdly skills, and then obviously the smart devices. Smart devices also falls in the infrastructure. So those are the areas that we have been pondering about to be the success factors of the industry, of the digital transformation.
Was the matter of inclusivity also addressed, particularly in reaching marginalized and underprivileged communities?
That came out clearly as well, because, you know, we have already a digital divide in the sector that we need to bridge, what we need to narrow in terms of age, in terms of gender, in terms of locality or geographical location, rural, urban, youth versus the elders, and so on. So there must be also a targeted intervention, how we mainstream the youth and the people with marginalized groups and other vulnerable groups into the sector so that they take ownership and be part of the process. And first things that have really been the Indonesian trend in terms of the digital divide, when it comes to gender equality and inclusivity, first we need women in decision-making powers. So these women, they will carry the inspirations and the needs of other women around below them. So if we don't mainstream women in the ICT sector, and then we need a girl child involvement in the STEM faculties, in STEM subjects like your science, technology, mathematics, and technology. So which is also a bit low in the, if you look at the universities ratios. So that's how we should mainstream this. But to per se, one good thing is technology is neutral. It does not discriminate against the marginalized or the physically challenged people, but there must be targeted intervention, how you bring those people on board and how they leverage on the technology that is available. Yeah, there was also a talk of, is 4G enough for us to move forward with the digital transformation? The answer can be yes or no. It depends on what we want to use for and at what stage are we. As we assess ourselves, we talk about the fourth digital revolution. But mind you, some members of some states have already moved from fourth industrial revolution to the fifth. So that's how you should gauge yourself and assess your readiness in terms of at the country level, where you want to be and where you are now. So that gap analysis will also inform us in a digital transformation strategy what needs to be filled and what needs to be optimized in order for us to move forward.
Thank you. And Doctor, what outcomes or changes in public services are expected as a direct result of implementing the national digital strategy?
I think the main implementer will be, one of the pillars to say is e-government digital services. So that is directed now to the Office of Prime Minister to position itself that they bring about some of the services in digital platforms. We talk about digital transformation. We don't talk about digitalization. We talk that the process should start, the A process and the Z up to the Z should be on a digital format. I'm referring to maybe you have access to download the form online, but you have to complete it manually and submit it in person. That is not digital transformation what we are gearing up. So that is how the Office of Prime Minister should gear up and make sure that we bring in changes at the right time, with the right resources, and with the right people in place, that we transform our e-services digitally. And we also go full place into the digital transformation stage that the strategy is aimed to achieve. So there is a lot to be done sequentially, in a sequentially manner. We take step by step, but the aim and the end goal is to reach our digital transformation so that we embrace the industrial revolutions, either the fourth or the fifth, as we move forward.
You mentioned earlier the importance of stakeholder collaboration. So how will the ministry ensure going forward, the ongoing engagement with stakeholders beyond the validation workshops on the National Digital Strategy to gather feedback and then make necessary adjustments?
Yeah, I think I have been quite a bit long in the ministry, in the sector. And I have said that one element that we have excelled or we have done very good is our stakeholders consultation. We always reach out to our stakeholders. We always give them a platform to air their views and input and do their reflection on the policy or any strategy that we want to formulate. And today was a testimony of that we have a quite diverse representative from diverse industry, being it the youth, being it the government itself, being it the academia, being it researchers, being it the tech entrepreneurs. And their inputs were so impactful and insightful that we really appreciate that they really understand the process and understand they visionize, they have the vision where Namibia should be in terms of digital transformation. So we value their input and we have taken note of that. Today was not the end product. Tomorrow we continue with the online platform. As you know, we have some spectrum of the society or sector of the society that is in the digital age. We want to connect at their comfort zone, and being in also January month, many people are on holiday. So we made the provision for tomorrow that we have an online visual workshop, a similar workshop where we can also engage a range of members of society who want to join us tomorrow virtually. So in terms of participation, I am very confident and I'm very happy that this has been one of our key facets in our policy and strategy formulation, that we should reach out to the society and the community at large. Although we cannot go to each corner of the country, but we try by all means to use the appropriate means of communications and consultation.
Dr. Kamutwedu, thank you so much for joining us this evening here on the Daily Roundup. Thank you for your time.
That was a pleasure also for me to have you, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
We'll come back after this brief break. Our conversations continue. Stay with us. Margaret, good afternoon.
Yes, afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good, thank you.
You can hear me
I'm
clearly?
talking to who? Yes, I can.
This is Nina speaking from the Daily Roundup with Nina.
Katangana.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hi, Nina.
How have you been?
I'm good, thank you, dear. How are you?
I'm all right. Can't complain.
All right.
We'll be going on in a few seconds.
Okay,
All
no
right.
problem. Mm-hmm.